What's up, everybody? Hope you're having a good Friday night, and hope you have a good weekend. This is The Year in Wrestling 1986 Reloaded Part 1. Probably do 2 parts in these Year in Wrestling Reloaded videos. Will probably only be 2 parts for the 80s, but once I get to the 90s, it might be 3 parts. So here we go, Year in Wrestling Reloaded 1986, Part 1. 1986, I didn't start watching wrestling yet because I was only 2 years old in 1986. So I didn't start watching until 87. But as I'm such a big fan, I've seen just about everything from 86. Thanks to the WWE Network, I've seen a lot of world-class championship wrestling. Seen a lot of NWA I've seen all their TV from 86. I already watched it on the network. So even though I wasn't watching in 86 as a fan, I still know my history. So first, I'm going to talk about some news items from 1986, and then I'm going to talk about some big events that happened, like Jim Crockett Senior Memorial Tag Team Tournament, and our AWA had WrestleRock 86. They had some good talent on it, but there wasn't that many fans there, and they held it in the Vikings' old stadium. So the Brewers just hit a home run. That's good. But I don't think they're going to win out 3 games in a row to make a wild card, to get a wild card playoff spot. But I'm not here to talk baseball. So 1986, February 86, Dallas-based World-Class Championship Wrestling leaves and stops working with the NWA. They get away from the NWA, so they're no longer exchanging NWA talent, and they no longer have the NWA champion, Ric Flair, coming anymore in 86. You see me looking down, I'm reading this stuff. So February 6th, 1986, I can barely pronounce this guy's name. Japanese wrestler from New Japan, Hiro Kansasuke beats the Cobra in Tokyo in the finals of New Japan's tournament to crown the first ever IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. February 7th, 86, WTBS airs its first primetime wrestling special called The Superstars on the Superstation. More than 2 years later, they would air the Clash of the Champions, the first Clash of Champions. March 1st, 86, MTV airs WWF's first ever Slammy Awards. And I'm sure it was entertaining. But I don't know if it's on the network. It might be, but I don't think it is. I think the 1987 Slammies is on the network. And I apologize if you hear a stupid kid crying. It's because my brother's friend is staying with me. Staying with us. With his 2 kids. And it's really damn annoying. I don't like children. They're very annoying. I do not like being around children. Unless I'm related to them. So, April 19th, the Superdome in New Orleans hosts its first ever Jim Crockett Senior Memorial Tag Team Tournament. The Road Warriors emerge from a field of 24 teams to defeat Magnum TA and Ronnie Garvin. And the tournament claims that the Road Warriors get a $1 million prize. I don't know if it was just kayfabe or what. But who knows, maybe they did get $1 million. And they got a big trophy. The Jim Crockett big senior memorial cup. Like a giant cup trophy. So May, doesn't have a date, just says May 86. The Four Horsemen are formed. The Four Horsemen are formed in May 86. As they are formed, Ric Flair, consisting of Ric Flair, Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson, and Ole Anderson, with their manager, J.J. Dillon. So that's historic. I wasn't sure if the Horsemen were formed in 85 or late 85, but they're formed in 86. So the Horsemen debuted in 86 in Jim Crockett Promotions, NWA. June 4th, 1986. And then I'll be done with the news items from 86. Kerry Von Erich, Kerry Von Erich, driving his motorcycle in Texas, pulls to the left on a 2-lane highway to pass a van, and Von Erich skids into the rear of a police car that had stopped in front of the van to make a left turn. Then Kerry Von Erich flies. The guy goes flying 50 feet through the air and lands in the road. Not good. He could have died. He suffers a dislocated hip and severe damage to his right knee and his ankle. And I'm sure that's the accident where Kerry Von Erich lost part of his foot. Said he got a severe ankle injury. Well, he lost a lot of his foot and probably part of his ankle. I'm not sure. Then he wore, a lot of people don't know this, but after June 4th, Kerry Von Erich was out of action for a long time, and he came back, wore a prosthetic foot, prosthetic leg type, or whatever it was, prosthetic ankle, I don't know. But he wore a fake foot, fake ankle in his wrestling boot. It's damn amazing the guy could still perform in the ring as good as he could. I had no clue he had no foot. That's pretty insane, man. He could still wrestle up until like past 91, I believe he still wrestled. And then sadly, Kerry Von Erich killed himself in like, I think 93. But that family, man, the Von Erichs, that is such a crazy tragedy story. If you ever watch, if you have WWE Network, watch World Class documentary, the World Class Championship Wrestling DVD. It's a great story about the promotion. It's also a tragedy story. That's just, man, if I was Kevin Von Erich, I don't know how I could go on, knowing I have really no family, no brothers left. Believe the guy had 5 brothers, and now he has none. Just tragic. The Von Erich tragedy is unreal. So now we're going to go to events of 86. I'm going to review events. Jim Crockett Senior Memorial Tag Team Tournament on April 19th, 86. From the Superdome in New Orleans. I believe that's where WrestleMania 34 is going to be again. So I did not see I know won the 86 Jim Crockett Memorial Tag Team Tournament, but it's not on the network. I wish it was. It's not. And I wish it was so I could watch it. Also put the 87 and the 88 Jim Crockett Memorial Tag Team Tournament. Put that on the network. Vince, do it. I'm an old school fan. I would like to see it. So the first round, Wahoo McDaniel and Mark Youngblood defeated Mike Miller and Bobby Jaggers. Nelson Royal, never heard of the guy. Nelson Royal and Sam Houston beat Bart and Brad Batten. Don't know who those guys are. Manny Fernandez and Jimmy Valiant defeated Congo the Barbarian and Baron Von Raschke. Steve Williams and Terry Taylor defeated Buddy Landell and Bill Dundee. The Sheep Herders, before they were the Bushwhackers, the Sheep Herders defeated Hector and Chavo Guerrero. Not Chavo Guerrero Jr., his father, Chavo Guerrero. The Fantastics defeated, there's a lot of matches to review and go to run down. A lot of more matches. The Fabulous Ones, or the Fantastics defeated the Fabulous Ones. Buzz Sawyer and Rick Steiner defeated Coco Beware and the Italian Stallion. Jimmy Garvin and Black Bart defeated David Peterson and Brett Sawyer. Now 8 teams left, or 8 more teams in the first round, I guess. The Road Warriors, the Midnight Express, the Koloffs, Rick Martel and Dino Bravo, the Rock and Roll Express, Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson, Magnum TA and Ronnie Garvin, and Shaga Baba and Tiger Mask. They all received buys into the second round. So the second round now, the Midnight Express defeat Nelson Royal and Sam Houston. Magnum TA and Ronnie Garvin defeat Buzz Sawyer and Rick Steiner. The Road Warriors defeat Wahoo McDaniel and Mark Youngblood. Ivan and Nikita Koloff defeat Manny Fernandez and Jimmy Valiant. Steve Williams and Terry Taylor defeat Rick Martel and Dino Bravo. That's pretty crazy that Coco Beware, Rick Martel, Dino Bravo were part of the Jim Crockett Memorial 86 Tag Team Tournament. Because in 87, Coco Beware, Rick Martel, Dino Bravo were all at WrestleMania 3 part of WWF. I didn't know that. That Rick Martel, Dino Bravo, Coco Beware, I see them as WWF guys. I didn't know they were part of the 86 Jim Crockett Memorial Senior Tag Team Tournament. So back to the matches. So Steve Williams and Terry Taylor defeated Rick Martel, Dino Bravo. The Sheep Herders defeated the Rock and Roll Express. The Fantastics defeated Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson. Shega Baba and Tiger Mask defeated Jimmy Garvin and Black Bart. Now the quarterfinals. The Road Warriors defeated the Midnight Express by disqualification. Ivan and Nikita Koloff wrestled to a draw with Steve Williams and Terry Taylor. Both teams were eliminated. The Sheep Herders wrestled to a double DQ with the Fantastics. Both teams were eliminated. Again, you had 4 teams be eliminated. That's pretty lame of a finish. But they probably had to do that so the show wouldn't go like 5 hours. Because there's so many matches. If they ever put this on the network, I hope they have the Jim Crockett Tag Team Tournaments. I hope WWE has those and they're not erased or something. But this 86 Jim Crockett Memorial Tag Team Tournament probably is like 3.5 hours, maybe longer. So back to the matches. Magnum TA and Ronnie Garvin defeat Baba and Tiger Mask are eliminated. The final round, the Road Warriors defeat Magnum TA and Ronnie Garvin. And in other matches, 2 additional matches on the show, North American Champion Hacksaw Jim Duggan defeated Dick Slater, and NWA World Champion Ric Flair defeated Dusty Rhodes by DQ. That was a long-ass review. Very long. Now we have WrestleRock 86. AWA WrestleRock 86. From the Metrodome in Minneapolis, Minnesota. On April 20th, 86. WrestleRock Brad Ragans defeated Boris Zukov. Little Mr. T. I'm not kidding. This show is actually on the network. WrestleRock 86. Little Mr. T, a midget. That looked like Mr. T. I believe he's part of WWF a few times. I remember Roddy Piper, Bob Orton, held him down on Piper's Pit and started cutting his hair. That was pretty funny. So Little Mr. T and Cowboy Lang, another midget wrestler, they defeated Lord Littlebrook and Little Tokyo. This match, it was kind of entertaining. I remember watching it about over a year ago. Over a year ago I watched WrestleRock 86. And it was an entertaining midget match. Colonel De Beers defeated Wahoo McDaniel by DQ. Both guys, it was an entertaining match. Both guys are decent workers. Wahoo McDaniel, a lot better worker than people think. Doug Summers and Playboy Buddy Rose defeated Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels. They were the Midnight Rockers in the AWA. Tiger Mask defeated Buck Zumoff. Barry Windham and Mike Rutundo. They were part of WWF in 85, 84. They were, I believe, called the All-American Express or something. They're actually brothers. Barry Windham and Mike Rutundo are actually real-life brothers. I didn't know that until, I think 10 years ago. So, Barry Windham, Mike Rutundo defeat the Fabulous Ones. And this show had a lot of, not just AWA talent, but a lot of talent from Memphis. It was also part of the show. A lot of talent from Jerry Jarrett and his promotion. So, some guy named Baba again. I believe it was All Japan Pro Wrestling's, it wasn't Giant Baba, but some guy named Baba. Because Giant Baba, I believe, ran All Japan Pro Wrestling. Baba pinned the Bulldog Bob Brown. Rick Martel and Harley Race wrestled to a double countout. Sherry Martel won a 10-woman battle royal. That was entertaining to watch. The American champion, Sergeant Slaughter, defeated Kamala by DQ. Again, you had a big list of a lot of legends on this show that worked for Mid-South, WWF, AWA, Memphis. So Sergeant Slaughter defeated Kamala by DQ. AWA World Tag Team Champion Scott Hall and Kurt Hennig defeated the Long Riders. I don't know who they are, but they were called the Long Riders. Sound like jobbers to me. Scott LaDux defeated Larry Zbyszko in a European rules boxing match. That sounds boring. I don't really remember watching that. AWA World Champion Stan Hansen defeated Nick Bockwinkel by DQ. What is with all these DQs? I remember watching this show and way too many DQs. I guess the promoters couldn't agree who to put over. It was pretty damn stupid, all these DQs. That's at least like the third or fourth DQ on this WrestleRock 86. The Road Warriors I get they were part of the NWA, or they were part of the AWA, I guess, until they went to the NWA. So the Road Warriors defeated Michael Hayes and Jimmy Garvin in a cage match. Jimmy Snuka and Greg Gagne defeated Naran the Barbarian. I believe that guy was Berserker later on in the WWF in the early 90s. And they defeated Bruiser Brody in a cage match. So Jimmy Snuka and Greg Gagne defeated basically the Berserker and Bruiser Brody. So as a result of Greg Gagne and Jimmy Snuka winning, Vern Gagne received 10 minutes in the cage with Sheik Abnar El-Casey in the cage, and Vern Gagne scored a pinfall on him inside the cage. So that was WrestleRock 86. It's very long. It's a very long event. If you watch it on the network, it's probably over 3 hours. It feels very long because a lot of the matches are not that good and not exciting, and too many damn DQ finishes. So WrestleRock 86, if I'd grade it, after I watched it, it's bringing back a lot of memories because I watched it over a year ago. I'd give it a grade of a C. Just a C because, and it would get a D if it didn't have all that Hall of Fame talent on it. So now I'm going to go to some of the PWI Pro Wrestling Illustrated. Let me get to it here. PWI Awards for 86. So in 86, the Wrestler of the Year, PWI said the Wrestler of the Year in 86 was Ric Flair. I agree. He was very good. Tag Team of the Year for 86 was the Rock and Roll Express. I agree with that. PWI Feud of the Year. Feud of the Year. The winner was Hulk Hogan versus Paul Orndorff. That was a good feud. Paul Orndorff turned on Hogan, came a stiff clothesline. I believe it was an episode of Superstars. Paul Orndorff and Hogan were going against Big John Studd, King Kong Bundy. Paul Orndorff clotheslined Hogan, picked him up, gave him a stiff power driver, and then Paul Orndorff left with Bobby Heenan, Big John Studd, King Kong Bundy. They're all backstage. Bobby Heenan started chanting, getting everybody chant, "Wonderful, wonderful," for Paul Orndorff because he just joined the Heenan family. And he turned on Hogan, became heel, was managed by Bobby Heenan again. So that was a great heel turn by Paul Orndorff on Hogan. And into 87, they would feud and have some matches on Saturday Night's Main Event. One in a cage that was pretty damn good. So, most popular wrestler of the year. It was Rowdy Piper. Was the most popular wrestler of the year in 86. Most hated wrestler of the year. Most hated wrestler of the year in 86 was Paul Orndorff. Most improved wrestler of the year for 86 was Terry Gordy. Inspirational wrestler of the year was Chris Adams. Rookie of the year was not around until... Rookie of the year was Lex Luger, was the Rookie of the year. Comeback of the year didn't exist until 92. Manager of the year for 86. Manager of the year was Captain Lou Albano for 86. He managed the tag champions, the British Bulldogs. And I'm not going to review or run down WrestleMania 2 because I already did a WrestleMania 2 review in my WrestleMania playlist. If you want to watch that, check it out. My WrestleMania 2 review in my WrestleMania playlist. The only matches that were good at WrestleMania 2 were The Battle Royal, that was entertaining. Andre won. The Tag Team Championship was entertaining because the British Bulldogs won the tag titles. And the main event, Hulk Hogan, King Kong Bundy, was, to me, it was very entertaining to watch. So back to, so there's the awards for 86. Final award, Manager of the Year, was Captain Lou Albano. So before I go, this is part 1 of 1986, Year in Wrestling Reloaded. I forgot to share this for 1985. This actually came out. It actually came out in 1985. The wrestling album. Here it is. I have the CD cover, but it's somewhere in my room. I don't know where. So I had it in this thing. But here it is, the wrestling album. There it is. I don't know if you can tell. There's Jesse Ventura. There's Mean Gene. There's Vince. So there's the wrestling album. So I actually have it. I still have it. It still plays very well. So there's 1985's The Wrestling Album. The first ever music CD they ever came out with. I don't know what song. I forget what songs are on here, but so I don't know, but it came out in 1985, and it was put out in stores, and it was put out by Sony Music. It says 1985 Sony Music Entertainment. So I hope you enjoyed the Year in Wrestling 1986 Part 1. In Part 2, Part 2 of the Year in Wrestling Reloaded 86, I'll review the 3rd annual David Von Erich Memorial Parade of Champions event. I'll review that. That happened in May 86. Also, we had Jim Crockett Senior Tag Team Tournament from Baltimore. That was on April 10th and 11th. So I'll review that, I guess. And then another that's 87. I apologize. The Jim Crockett Memorial Tag Team Tournament was from Baltimore in 87. And it was a 2-day event. So I'll review Starrcade. Starrcade 86, I'll review. Also, the Great American Bash did a tour. Great American Bash tour. They did it from July 1st to August 2nd in 86. So I'll also review that. Anyways, so the next part 2 of 86 will be David Crockett 86 Parade of Champions. I'll review that. Starrcade 86 and Great American Bash 86. Hope you enjoyed part 1. Have a great weekend. Bye for now, everybody.